Okay, we got our soy sauce, our sesame oil, and our black bean paste. And we're ready to cook our chicken. Okay, my wok is hot. I got my house blend oil here. I'm going to use it very sparingly. I'm using a non-stick wok. This is a stainless steel non-stick wok. I do not believe in any other surface for cooking. I don't care what they say about the Teflon. I don't think it's healthy. The non-stick wok is going to enable me to use a lot less oil than they use in the restaurants. And that's how I'm going to make this more nutritious for my needs. We'll just wait for that to brown on one side. And you can see how it's just about cooked. That's just going to take about 1 more minute. Okay, the meat's done. I'm going to transfer this to a clean bowl. And I'll add just a little more oil. And I can throw in my hard vegetables, which would be all except for the peppers. I guess it's time to stir. And at this point I can add my sesame oil, which is more of a flavoring than a cooking oil, but it'll also help the cooking process along. Okay, our hard vegetables have sweated down. So we're ready to add our soft vegetables, our peppers. We can return the chicken to the wok. And we can season. We already have hot pepper, so I'm going to go really light on the black bean paste, which is also very spicy. Soy sauce. Can you hear that sound? That's the sound of us deglazing. I use these cooking terms to show you that I'm smarter than you. Okay, so we're adding our homemade chicken stock. And when this comes to a boil, I'm going to use a little cornstarch and water to thicken it up, and it should be done. Now if you say to me, Alan, this is cooking like a pro. 90% of the restaurants out there use chicken base for their chicken stock. I'll say to you, you're absolutely right. 90% of the restaurants I worked in, I was forced to use chicken base. I hate the stuff. I don't care if it comes in a cube, a can, or a carton. I don't care if you call it bouillon, base, or broth. What you're getting is salt, MSG, and if you're lucky on a good day, a little bit of chicken fat. This sauce I'm making is going to be a reduced chicken stock. So I would be taking something that already tastes like crap, reducing it down to make my sauce. And we all know what that's going to taste like. Well, it's time to thicken it up, and I got my old cornstarch and water mix here. We call this slurry. And now that I have a rapid boil here, all I need to do is dump it in. So you went to the Chinese market and you got thrown out. And your stir fry still doesn't taste like the restaurant. You're right. It's never going to taste like the restaurant at home. The problem isn't your ingredients, the problem is your stove. Your burner is just not strong enough to cook these vegetables quickly. By the time we bring this to the boil, we're going to end up a stewing process here. They're going to be a little boiled instead of fried. And that's because the burner we have is just not powerful enough to cook this in the short amount of time to keep the vegetables really crispy. Or al dente. So, to learn how to make this authentic, let's go to the pros. And for this, we're going to take a little field trip to Typhoon. Good afternoon. We're here at Thai food restaurant with my good friends Owa and Geek. They're going to show us how the pros stir fry. She's going to do a traditional Thai dish, pad Thai. Geek is going to explain to us what Owa does. Go ahead, do your thing.
Okay, all right.
Note the generous amount of oil used in this wok.
Okay, the first time you put the oil, make it hot. A little bit hot enough.
Now this burner is the key to a good stir fry, correct?
Right.
How is it different from the other burner?
This one is very hot, hotter than
It's very hot.
and faster.
Still cracking those eggs with 2 hands. Can't just use that 1 hand like a professional. Boy, that sure is a generous amount of oil. So you start with the eggs and about a 1/4 cup of oil, I see. So when I get home in my little cart, that's why I got that oil float on top, right?
Yeah.
Cut it through a chicken, very good. Notice how quickly everything's cooking. This is a very high heat. Noodles. I'm sorry? Sauce. She's adding a little bit of water to soften the noodles. Once the noodle gets soft, she's going to add the pad Thai sauce. Go ahead and light it up first. And that's finished already. Now you cook that in about a 1/3 of the time it took me to cook my stir fry at home. So there you have it. That's the way the pros do it. Don't even try to compete with them with your home stove. Thanks, Owen and Geek, for being on my show today.
Thank you very much, Joe.
Congratulations on all your success here at Typhoon.
Thank you.
I really enjoyed our trip to Typhoon. I believe they called it that because the name Katrina was already taken. It's now time for our tip of the week. For this, I'm going to take a term right off my cliche board, extra virgin. Of course, I'm talking about olive oil. And for this, I'm going to go to the pros again. We're going to go visit Jimmy Sunseri in the Strip District of Pittsburgh. He's a professional olive oil salesman. We're here at Jimmy Sunseri's store in the Strip District today, looking at olive oil. Jimmy, I'm an all-or-nothing kind of guy. I want you to show me your most expensive and your least expensive olive oils.
This Guadalupe is an extra virgin. It's the first pressing. From there you go down to a virgin oil, which is your second pressing. Palm oil. This is the third pressing.
So nutritionally speaking, there's no difference in any of these olive
No
oils.
difference.
So for everyday cooking, which one would you recommend?
Go with the palms.
Well, I appreciate your time having us here.
You know where to find them. This is where indentured servitude survives.
So if you've been using extra virgin olive oil because some idiot chef on TV has been telling you you should to make himself feel important, try the pumice for your everyday cooking. You're going to save over 200% over the top line extra virgins, and you're not going to know any of the difference. Thank you, Jimmy, for setting us straight on olive oil. I have no idea how this can got into our camera case. That's my story and I'm sticking to it. What I do is once I get home with my pumice oil is I mix it with equal parts of canola oil, which is an even healthier oil. In fact, it's lowest in saturated fat of all the oils. This 1.5 quart container cost me only $2. This brings my cost of home cooking oil below $10 a gallon. I call this my house blend and I use it for everything. Let's recap what we learned today. We improved the quality of the product by making our own chicken stock. We altered the recipe by using a non-stick wok, using less oil and less fat, making it healthier. We saved time by prioritizing, money by buying a whole chicken. Hopefully I eliminated some cliches and misconceptions you've had along the way. And I thank you for joining me today. You're not going to see any of that Michael Chiarella crap on my show. I have no friends. So I'm going to sit down with my lovely camera woman Karen, enjoy this fine nutritious meal that I've prepared for pennies. With all the money we save, we're going to go have a night on the town. Next week on Cooking Like a Pro, I'm going to go over the 5 mother sauces. Once you learn how to prepare these, you'll be able to make just about any dish you want. We're going to take a field trip to New York City, see how they do things in the Big Apple. Until then, thanks for joining us. Good night.